Hi everyone, it's Julie from I Can Crochet That, and today I am going to teach you how to do the Tunisian crochet bump stitch. I actually already have a video on this, but being the newbie teacher that I was, I've been crocheting for a very long time, but I have been teaching only for about a year and a half. I used a red yarn, which didn't show up very well in the camera, and a lot of you pointed that out to me, and I appreciate your constructive criticism. I will take it all day long. Just let me know how I can teach you better and what you need. So I'm redoing the video, and I'm using a lighter color yarn, and this is Lion Brand Heartland in Grand Canyon. You'll see a lot of my tutorials in this color yarn because I feel like it looks good and it's just a very enjoyable yarn to work with. So the Tunisian bump stitch, I have a shawl called the Seaside Shawl that you'll see that uses this. And it's a super easy stitch to learn. And the end result is a really gorgeous pattern. So let's get started. With this stitch, it doesn't matter. You can do an odd number, you can do an even number. But today for the video, we'll do a number of 15 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So if you're familiar with Tunisian crochet, then you know that like regular crochet, we don't go into the chains, but for the foundation chain, we turn it over and we go into the back bumps of every single one. And if you know that, then you'll know how to do the rest of this pattern because that's what we're doing for the rest of it, is just going into the back bumps. So, but let's finish our foundation chain. You bring up a loop in the second back bump from your hook. So this counts as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, excuse me, and 15. All right, 15 loops on my hook. We started with 15 chains, so we should have 15 loops. And you'll just do the regular return pass. If you're familiar with this, it's just chain 1 and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops for the rest of the way across. So chain 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way across until you get to the end. And that is a basic Tunisian crochet foundation row. So, all right, so for this stitch, we are going to bring up a loop instead of the bars here. Most Tunisian crochet stitches have something to do with the bar. They either go through the bar, in the bar, beside the bar. But with this one, we're gonna look for the back bumps back there. And we're just gonna go all the way across. Now we do need to find the first back bump, and it can hide a little bit and it can be a little tricky to grab. If we go through the second one, our work will be slanted. So this is a little different than other Tunisian stitches where you always go in like, you know, the second bar or whatever. But this one is, we need to look for that first bump. So like I said, it can hide a little bit at first, but once you get the hang of it, it does get easier. I promise. You're seeing me struggle and it doesn't look like it's easy, but but it is. So okay, so we got through that first one. That's the tricky one, and then you'll just go through the second one and all the way across, and you'll want to have 15 loops on your hook. So don't get it confused with this chain here. You want to look for the bump. You don't want to go through the chain. Turn it over and you'll see there's a bump. Go through that one. You'll go all the way across and you'll see one bump left and a side stitch. We're not going to go in that bump. As you'll see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We started with 15 chains, so we want 15 loops on our hook. So we won't go into that back one. We'll go into this last stitch into the side and grab that. And then it's just a regular return pass. Chain 1, yarn over, go pull through 2 loops. Yarn over, go through 2, all the way across. And sometimes one trick is before you, to make that first bump a little bit easier, and this is what I usually do, before going through those last 2 loops, because this is gonna be your bump, your first bump. You can kind of grab it like that with your fingernail, if you have fingernails, and go through 2, and then it just makes it easier to grab it. So it's not a struggle. So see it, I lifted it a little bit, so now I can go through that first one. And then if you need to, you can kind of tighten those 2 loops on your hook. That's just a little trick. Go all the way across, getting those back bumps. That noise you hear is my cord hitting the table, so I apologize. Okay, so we've got 1 back bump left. We're not going into that. We're going into the side stitch. And we should have 15 loops on our hook. Return pass, chain 1, yarn over through 2, all the way across. And as you can see, I got a hold of that first back bump. So that makes it a little bit easier. Let's do a few more rows so you can see what it looks like. So let's cue up some music. And there you have it. There's what it looks like. It almost looks like a little waffle stitches. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but it depends on what kind of yarn you use, what size hook, but you can get it to where it's really stretchy and meshy looking, or where it's a little bit tighter and looks like little waffle stitches, which just looks really pretty. And here's what it looks like on my Seaside Shawl that I designed, which you can find on icancrochetThat.com in our shop or on our Etsy. So there you have it. Hope you enjoyed that stitch and have fun practicing.